Hello English learners, and welcome to another episode of English Lessons with Grammar Man. Coming to you from Progressive English, the language school in Zurich, Switzerland. As always, be sure to check out the website here for more learning material, Skype lessons, and lots of other things to help you with your English language goals. Now, today's lesson is all about gerunds and the to infinitive, and the grammar rules which will really help you to use these forms correctly. So a gerund is verb plus the ing. An example, walking, running, doing. And the to infinitive is to plus the infinitive, or the base verb, to walk, to run, to do. Now, why are these two forms important to know? Because there are certain grammar rules which tell us which form we must use. Sometimes we can use either a gerund or the to infinitive. For example, I like to ski, the to infinitive, or I like skiing, the gerund. In these sentences, both sentences have the same meaning and they are both grammatically correct. But what about this sentence? I suggest staying in the blue hotel, or I suggest to stay in the blue hotel. This time, only the first example is correct, because the verb suggest is a verb that must be followed by a gerund, not by the to infinitive. To be clear, the verb suggest can be followed by other words. I suggest that we go to the beach, but it cannot be directly followed by the to infinitive, only by the gerund. Now, when people first learn about gerunds, they often think that this is a verb in the continuous form because of the ing. But let me show you the difference. I was eating an apple. Now, this is a continuous verb. It is past continuous because it fits the formula for past continuous. Subject plus was or were and plus verb ing. I am drinking a coffee. This is present continuous. Again, because it fits the formula. A continuous form of the verb must have the auxiliary verb before it. So let's take a look at this one. I enjoy hiking in the mountains. This time there is no auxiliary. There's no auxiliary verb, no helping verb. So it can't be the present continuous or the past continuous. This is called a gerund. It's an ing verb, but it's functioning as a noun. It's naming an activity instead of a person or thing. She is good at surfing. Again, no auxiliary verb before the ing. Instead we have a preposition, and then we have the gerund. A couple more examples of gerunds in sentences. Reading is a good way to learn. I look forward to meeting you. And he kept talking for hours. So there are three main rules, three key rules that you really need to know, which will tell you when the gerund is the correct word choice or when the to infinitive is the correct word choice. And they're very clear rules, nice solid rules, so they really are helpful. Rule number one, after a preposition, we must use the gerund, not the to infinitive. In the previous example, yes, she is good at surfing. So we had the preposition at, so we used the gerund. We cannot say she is good at to surf. Okay, we do not use the to infinitive after prepositions. Some more examples. I'm thinking about going to Spain. Not, I'm thinking about to go to Spain. Because about is a preposition and prepositions are followed by gerunds. One last example. If you keep on trying to improve, you will. Not if you keep on to try. Preposition on, so we use the gerund. Now, just to be perfectly clear, you can follow prepositions with lots of different nouns. Okay, the glass is on the table, I swam in the lake. But when we are choosing between the gerund or the to infinitive, it is always the gerund. Rule number 2. When we want an action as a subject, use the gerund. An example sentence: learning English has improved my confidence. Gerund. Another example: snowboarding is his favourite hobby. Not to snowboard is his favourite hobby. Easy, straightforward rule. We really don't need more information about that. Subject, gerund. Okay, and rule number 3. When the main verb has an object that is a noun or pronoun, we use to infinitive and not the gerund. Give you an example sentence. Do you want me to call you? Do you want me to call you? So the object is me, which is a pronoun, so we use the to infinitive. We cannot say, do you want me calling you? Another example. The students asked their teacher to help them. Not, the students asked their teacher helping them. Because the object, their teacher, is a noun. Her parents taught her to wash her hands before eating. This is a good one actually. So we have the object pronoun, her, so we use to infinitive, to wash. And then we have the preposition, before. And that must, because it's a preposition, must be followed with the gerund. Alright, so hopefully you can see how that works. That's the 3 key rules that you really need to know to master gerunds and to infinitives. But what about after verbs? For example, I want to learn about gerunds, or I want learning about gerunds. The correct form here is the to infinitive. I want to learn about gerunds. And the reason is the verb want always takes the to infinitive and not the gerund. The bad news, there is no clear rule to tell you whether you need the gerund or the to infinitive after each verb. And they really have to be learnt by doing. I'm going to help you with this though, okay? So first I'll give you some common examples. Suggest and recommend are always a gerund. I suggest going to the beach. I recommend catching the bus. Always the gerund. Another common verb, enjoy. Always a gerund. I enjoy learning English. Not, I enjoy to learn English. Yes, one of the best ways to know if a verb is followed by a gerund or the to infinitive is to use an online dictionary, because they actually will stipulate, they will show you whether the verb is normally followed by a gerund or the to infinitive. Very handy to know. An example, if I use the Cambridge Online Dictionary and I look up a verb which takes a gerund, it will say plus ing verb. I'll put an example up. I want to travel because I enjoy meeting people and seeing new places. If I look up the verb want, you can see it shows here the different structures, including the to infinitive. What do you want to eat? But there is no mention of a gerund because want is never followed by the gerund. If I look up a word that is usually followed, that can be followed by the gerund or the to infinitive, for example, the verb like, it will show both structures. For example, it will show you verb plus ing, I don't like upsetting people, and the to infinitive, he likes to spend his evenings in front of the television. So yeah, as you can see, this can be a very useful resource to know about, and many people aren't aware of this. Yeah, a couple more things about gerunds, or the to infinitives after verbs. With verbs that can take both the to infinitive or the gerund, sometimes there will be a change in meaning, okay, depending on which form we use. A good example is after the verb stop. So we could say, using the gerund, I stopped smoking. This means I quit smoking. I do not smoke anymore. But if I used the to infinitive and said, I stopped to smoke, this would mean I stopped whatever I was doing and had a cigarette. Okay, it means the complete opposite, it's the complete opposite meaning if I use the gerund or the to infinitive. So very interesting, grammar man, that's fantastic. How do I learn about the difference? Okay, what you do is you go to the Progressive English website, where I've put a downloadable list of the most common verbs that are followed by the to infinitive and the most common verbs followed by gerunds. Now this list also tells you whether you can use both the gerund or the to infinitive and if the meaning changes. Very useful. And I've also put a gap fill exercise on there so that you can test your newfound knowledge of gerunds and to infinitives and become a gerund and to infinitive master. Alrighty, so that's about it for another video there, everybody. That's enough gerunds and to infinitives for one day. If you found the video informative, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel by clicking the big red subscribe button under the video. And as always, if you would like me to make a video on a certain topic, don't be shy, just put it in the comment section and we'll see what we can do. We can make a video just for you. Thanks everybody, good luck with your English goals and life goals. Cheers!